Imagine, if you will, that you are a treasure hunter and you're diving deep into the waters off of the Florida coast and you find this staring back at you, and 199 more of these are nearby. Well, that's the thrill of the hunt, and it has been done again off the coast of Florida. We're going to talk about it in this video as we explore. Some of you may be treasure hunters, but not very many of you go to the sea to find treasures, as some do. Usually it takes a lot more organization, but there has been some treasure hunters that have made a very significant find off the coast of Florida. And I'm going to be reporting on that from CBS because they actually have the most comprehensive information about this shipwreck from 1715. And these are from shipwrecks that have been recovered there off the coast of Florida. And it's fascinating indeed that more than 300 years ago, fleets of Spanish galleons set sail from the waters off the Americas to bring back vast amounts of treasure from the New World, including gold, silver, and gemstones. But on July the 31st, 1715, a powerful hurricane devastated 11 of those ships, sending the vessels and their precious cargo to the ocean floor. In fact, that is not uncommon. In fact, some of the stuff has washed up on the beaches, and people have found some of the things. And so it's not terribly far off the coast that you see some of this stuff. But the 1715 treasure fleet lay untouched, though, for more than 2 centuries off the coast of Florida until the sunken ships were finally discovered. And now a group of treasure hunters say they have recovered more than 200 silver coins from the iconic wrecks. And, most of us, when we hunt treasure, we use metal detectors and we go out and we just scan the ground. Hopefully we can find something. Most of the time we just turn up bottle caps or pop tops or, maybe the occasional quarter, a clad quarter. It's very rare that you find silver coins, although it has happened. And many people in this community have documented their finds in the metal detecting community, which is sort of an offshoot, I guess, of the precious metals community, but I think it's on its own sort of in community over there. But there is some overlap. It was kind of numbing in a way. Boat Captain Grant Gitschlag told WOFL TV in Florida just this past week, "You don't expect that. You always hope for it, but you never expect it." Yes, indeed. There they are. They're holding the treasure in their hands. It almost looks like that's a family, their group. The group exploring shipwrecks from their boat called the Lily May recently retrieved a total of 214 coins and other artifacts from the 1715 treasure fleet, a remarkable discovery considering the wrecks have been surveyed countless times before. That is pretty amazing. I wasn't expecting it at all, which is how the greatest find comes about. Fellow treasure hunter Corinne Lee told WOFL TV. Now let's take a look at this picture. It does take some preparation time to be able to get everything together and to coordinate these dives, but these look like amateurs to me, maybe even a family. Still, it does take effort to do, but not compared to some of the dives you see from others. But a hint as to why they were overlooked before is in their hands. Look how dark they are. Yeah. They've been down there for a while. Pretty crazy. We'll see other images here in a moment. The 1715 fleet, Queen's Jewels, a company that owns exclusive salvage rights to the 1715 treasure fleet, posted a message on social media touting the Lily May's find as the first treasure of the season. The company released a photo of the treasure hunters holding coins, as well as an image showing some of the other artifacts that were pulled from the historic shipwrecks. Yeah, a lot of stuff there. Here's an image of it. Just a few days into the 2024 season, the crew of the MV Lily May C-69 located a hot spot in one of our sites. So far, they have recovered about 200 silver cobs. The operation wrote in a statement, "Well done by the Lily May crew." This is the only news source I found that had images, and you can see that I cannot get these images to show up. There's a little larger image that you can see there, but it's hard to make out that those are actually coins, but indeed they are. They almost look like stones. So I could see how they have been overlooked. No, those are not crab legs. I think that's some sort of other decorative material, jewelry, and what have you. But to find this, I don't know how they're going to clean this off to see what's there, but it is remarkable to see. I guess it's coral or some sort of stone that has made their way on top of them. I guess they have metal detectors that they can detect what is there, but you can see imprints of shells on some of these pieces too. So after that many years, it's no surprise, but so very astute of them to use their metal detectors, which they would have had to have done to recognize these, because these do not look like coins to me, that's for sure. The team told WOFL that they have been looking for treasures for years together off the coast of Indian River County, which notes that some of the artifacts and coins will wash up on Florida's beaches today, as I just mentioned earlier. Indeed, in 2020, a treasure hunter using a metal detector on the beach located 22 silver coins from the legendary shipwrecks. I may have done a story about that. And by the way, on this channel, you will see a playlist from which this video will be added of found precious metal treasure. And I do stories on this too. I'm unique in this community where I have a playlist and many dozens of videos where I've covered stories about found precious metals treasure like this, and this is one of those. It's amazing. You know, there's two things, crimes and finds, that seem to make the news. You know, I have a precious metals crimes playlist as well, but this is good news when you find silver coins that have been down on the depths of the sea since 1715. It's all about the find, Leah told the station. I love the history, being the first person up in 309 years to find what was once lost in a tragedy. According to the National Park Service, pirates and vessels from other European countries would sometimes try to seize the expensive cargo from Spanish fleets throughout the 18th century, jeopardizing Spain's dominance over the Americas. But the biggest threat came not from treasure-seeking rivals, but from unexpected hurricanes. The wrecks of two of the ships sunk by powerful storms, the Urca de Lima from the 1715 fleet and the San Pedro from the 1733 fleet, are protected as Florida underwater archaeological reserves. So you're going to be very careful. It takes a lot of research, time, and effort to be able to make these treasure hunts happen, for sure. These ships are time capsules from a bygone era and can reveal much about the history of the mighty maritime system that helped shape the Americas, according to the Park Service. And here's another image from the wrecks of the Urca de Lima of the 1715 fleet and the San Pedro from the 1733 fleet being protected. Let's see if we can see what this image looks like. Yeah, you can see there it looks to be a cannon there at the bottom of the ocean, but you can see all of the stuff that's around it. It's very difficult when you're diving down. You can see visibility is an issue, even in seemingly clear water. Still, there's obstructions, and then you have the algae and the material and the coral that surrounds most of everything down there. So to be able to find those, it's totally understandable that they would be overlooked. Especially when you're looking at this, it looks like cobs, it looks like a stone. You know, these don't look like treasures at all. Fascinating indeed. The 1715 fleet Queen's Jewels, which bills itself as the largest permitted historic shipwreck salvage operation in Florida waters, says that by law, the state receives up to 20% of the artifacts found on each site to display in new museums. Now, that's very different from the United Kingdom, where essentially it's, you have to turn it all over, and you are compensated, but you are required to turn the entire treasure over. A little different thing. In fact, it goes to what's known as a coroner there in the United Kingdom and many European countries. And a coroner essentially, is, by the broad definition, means a curator of the artifacts that are processed through and then make their way into museums and the like. But it's pretty amazing, and it is kind of neat that some of this will be displayed in a museum. I think it should, but anyways, I guess that's part of the agreement that they have there. Now, in 2015, the salvage operation announced that it had found 350 gold coins, which it estimated worth $4.5 million from the sunken shipwrecks. Earlier that same year, the Schmidt family, a subcontractor of 1715 fleet Queen's Jewels, discover $1 million worth of artifacts. And my guess is probably most of the gold has probably already been found in the bottom of the ocean. Why? Well, because it sticks out. Not like a sore thumb, because, gold doesn't hurt. It's beautiful and it's a nice thing to look at. But it does not react to the environment. You won't see much of anything adhere to it. If it does, it'll be taken off very easily, because gold does not react to the elements like silver does, as you can see here. So this is why it probably went left undetected after all that time. But fascinating story. If you enjoy content like this, I hope you will consider subscribing to the channel and pressing that thumbs up button if you find value in what I do here on this channel. So I like to extend a multitude of gratitude to each and every one of you for taking the time to watch this video, and to encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.